U.S. President Donald Trump is apparently trying to tone down talk of a trade war with China. He says there isn't a trade war and is heaping blame for America's trade deficit not on Beijing, but on previous U.S. administrations. And he again pointed to China's alleged theft of American intellectual property. Seung-jae reports.
U.S. President Donald Trump, who just last month stated that trade wars are good and easy to win, tried to cool economic anxieties over the huge Chinese tariffs imposed on the U.S. He took to Twitter on Wednesday, saying the U.S. is not in a trade war with China, adding that the war was lost many years ago by the foolish or the incompetent people who represented the U.S. President Trump went on to say that the U.S. has a trade deficit with China of $500 billion a year, with intellectual property theft amounting to another $300 billion. He was apparently referring to a deficit of $506 billion in Chinese exports to the U.S. last year, something Trump touched upon during a cabinet meeting a day earlier.
Again, our relationship is very good with China, and we intend to keep it that way. But we have to do something to seriously relieve that trade deficit. We can't have a $500 billion a year trade deficit. We also have the theft of intellectual property, and that probably is in the neighborhood of $200 to $300 billion a year.
U.S. Commerce Secretary Wilbur Ross said on Wednesday that China's recent tariffs on U.S. exports should not surprise anyone, adding he was a little surprised Wall Street was so surprised. According to Ross, Chinese new tariffs do not represent a threat to the United States, as it amounts to about 0.3% of U.S. GDP. In response to the trade spat, China's Vice Minister of Commerce said that while Beijing is trying to avoid a trade war, they will stand and fight if one starts.
China does not want a trade war because there will be no winner in a trade war. If someone insists on starting a trade war, China will fight till the end. China's stance has been consistent regarding the channels of consultation and communication. The door is always open for negotiation and consultation.
The remarks come as China imposed its own 25% tariff on $50 billion worth of U.S. exports, which will affect 106 products, including aircraft, cars, and soybeans. As the world watches on, fears are growing that the intensifying trade spat between the two economic superpowers will indeed turn into a full-blown trade war. Seung-jae, Arirang News.